Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are y'all this evening? Oh, Sally's number one. I don't. Debbie Sue's not been in a lot of lives, so or I haven't seen her in very many. A few, a few. Sally, you're on the road, and Pam's here. Hi, Pam and Paula. So Cheryl's here. What do you mean? Where's Vanna? Who knows where Vanna is? Paula, I saw you climb that big old hill, get straight up the front of it. Yep, you're just conquering those hills right and left. Okay, Cheryl, I have some questions about rebounding, so I might just need to get in touch with you. Thanks. Red seems to be my color since my hair's gray. I never wore red a whole lot till I let my hair go gray. And then I wear red a lot because it's a good color. So, anytime, Cheryl said, well, watch some of your videos, and then all of these rebounding things start coming up on my channel. And I'm like, you know, all the health benefits and all the, and these titles and stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, I need to talk to Cheryl. Never done a rebounder, but most of what I do, like if I do stuff in the house, is I have a small bike, and I have ridden that thing a lot. And I also, I got to get this where I can see the chat. I have a treadmill that I just got from my son. And so I'm not real crazy about it. It's become real popular since COVID. It says Christmas crew. Are we the Christmas crew? And anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Rebounding. So I think that it's something that I would like to check into. And of course, I wrote down the rebounder you had and all of that, but it's like, okay, I'm going to do a little more research. This is Pam says, hello, beautiful people. Cheryl said, I love your shirt. She said, I don't think you can do it with your artificial hip. I think I can. I do a lot of things. I do squats holding 2 10-pound weights, which since I increased my weights, I can actually squat down and pick something up and get back up. I have an artificial knee too. So, hey, Miss M's here. Hello, Miss M. How are you doing, Emily? I haven't seen you in a while. No jumping. Well, isn't that what you do on a trampoline? You just bounce. It's the bouncing. Is that right? Miss M says she's doing okay. Well, I don't know that I'm bouncing on a trampoline. I don't know. Oh, this is Pam said, I told my daughter about Cheryl's channel because she has a debilitating nerve problem since having shingles twice. Lots of nerve pain in her left side. Yes. That's what your ortho doctor told you, Sally? No rebounding? I guess I could find out what my orthopedic surgeon says, but I have I still have nerve pain in the bottom part of my leg where I have my knee done at times. It's, you know, if I eat whole foods and stuff, preservatives and sugar and not very many carbs, I don't have the nerve pain. So it's related to my diet or inflammation. So I don't know. My orthopedic surgeon's just real impressed with the mobility that I have in that leg. And a lot of it is because of the exercise that I did to strengthen the leg. So they do. Um, so that's what your orthopedic doctor told you. Doctors need to become educated about rebounding and nutrition. That's what Cheryl said. So, I um, think that it's something that, but they are beginning to do research on diet, whole food eating, and depression and anxiety. And I'm going to shut my door because my hubby's in there. He's watching some sort of action thing and it's loud. All right. Got that took care of. So, all right. Pam says she's getting into the topic. A feeling I'm a bit scared to embrace this season is the knowledge that this will probably be the last Christmas with just the four of us. Every year life changes and it just seems to be going so fast. Yes, but Pam, let's shift your perspective a little bit here. It may be the last year of just the four of us, but what about the people that will be added? Like the son-in-law. I'm not saying, but I've gained a daughter-in-law and a grandson, and I'm fixing to get another daughter-in-law. And then the people that it added to my family was my daughter-in-law's mother and stepdad, and her mother and we just really close. And I have met my older son's fiance's mother, and she seems like somebody I really click with too. So it may add people to your life. Miss M said, I'm feeling sad right now because my grandma's sister's in the nursing home and she isn't doing well at all. She may pass soon. I'm really sorry to hear that, Miss M. It is sad. It's sad. That would be your great aunt, your grandma's sister. Yeah, this time of year, I think that it's intensified when we lose people, because I certainly, I've had a lot of significant deaths this last year, and I've talked about that some, and and of course, none of them have been around the holidays, but it's hard. It's hard, Emily. It's real hard. So Pam said, good thoughts, Rhonda. Thank you. Shift in perspective needed. Yeah, I think sometimes we don't think about what maybe will be added to our Christmas and to embrace the excitement of the growth of our families from that, because I have a really small family. My mom and dad neither had siblings. My dad didn't have any siblings, and my mother's only brother was killed by a train when he was 8 years old. He got ran over by a train. And I had no aunts and uncles, no first cousins, none of that. I have an older brother and a younger brother, and I have two sister-in-laws, and then my older brother has two kids, and then I have two sons. And that is my family. And that's, so the family that has happened in the downline, the down bloodline of my boys and my daughter-in-laws, and then my grandson and my older son, they're talking about having a couple of kids. So I may get a couple of more grandkids. And so there will even be maybe some more additions. Paula said, I'm sorry, M. Miss M said, but I'm smiling and pushing through because my depression gets rough around this time. Yes, that is what, kind of our topic comes from the video that I released on Monday about, the one mistake we make that causes pain, and that's not to embrace the grief and loneliness and sadness that we feel, because the only way to get to the other side of that is through. And so often, in my work with others, I find they're stuck in the grief process somewhere, and that's where they get depressed and sad and lonely. So you have to embrace and work through the feelings. So hello, Kathleen. How are you this evening? And then Miss Paula says, Miss M, we're sending love and hugs. And Pam is sending you hearts. That's love. Sally, I'm grateful, embracing my new friends that I truly consider my best family. I thank you all for that. And that's the other flip side of it. There's embracing the positive feelings, the joy, the gratitude for the community here and the friends we made. So, Miss M said, thank you, everyone. Allison said, losing people, jobs, communication with children, loss of communication with other kids. I'm panicking as my daughter is anxiety of her own is making my needs the lowest of the totem pole. I'm sorry, Allison. It is. It's hard, and it causes a lot of pain. When your kids kind of tend to cut you out of their life. I went through that with my older son, to where he cut me out of his life. He didn't contact me, didn't talk to me, didn't, I would text, he would answer my text. And finally, I quit. I would send the birthday card or, a Christmas card with money, and I quit all of it. I just quit because I decided a long time ago would not be in a relationship that was not reciprocated. So I finally did that, and through God's grace and some events, he came back around. So, oh, you're well. Let's see. Kathleen said hi to Paula, and she says, I'm well. Thank you, Rhonda. Sally said hi to Allison. Allison said, coming upon the anniversary of the passing of family members is ripping us apart. And Allison said, mine too. And I found out she's suffering with postpartum. Yeah. Yeah. Kathleen said, I'm so sorry to hear that, Allison. The Rebels 57. Hi, welcome. And Paula said, love you, Allison. I think that, my best friend died in June this year of cancer. She was 57 years old. And that was a hard loss for me. I have absolutely grieved that. And, there were just Sally, you talk about shenanigans. That girl and I, we did some shenanigans, and just the fun times and the memories that I have. And it's been a hard one, a hard loss. And that during this time of year, hey, what are you doing? What are you planning? How you making it along? All of that sort of thing. So This is Pam said, my last video topic was about this, how to move through family cutting you off or feeling like you have to cut people off. Yeah, I watched it, Pam. It's a good video. I've wrote some notes about making a video about, estrangement. And then I don't know if any of y'all have watched that uh, show that Oprah did on estrangement. It was very, very good. Very good. They covered both sides very well. Very well. So, um, okay, you just got to Airy BRB. What's that stand for? Miss M said, I'm really making myself to be in the Christmas spirit. Yes. And it's hard. It's hard for some people. I know that Julie's talked a lot about um, grief this time of year because she lost her brother in December. And I never lost a sibling. I only have two, but sibling death, grief is it's different, and I guess each grief is different, but there's that tie that we have with our siblings, So um the Rebel said, Merry Christmas to us all. Yes, Mr. Rebel. Are you a mister? What's your name? This is Pam said, really difficult situations to navigate, so very painful. And Allison said, thank you, friends. I may have to go to mom's for the night. My best friend and my sister passed a few years ago, and she was my person. Yeah, and kind of just leaves a little hole. But there's, when I went to her house, her husband had some stuff to give me that she had set aside. And a couple of them was the picture, you see, right there, the Serenity Prayer. That, and then next to it, I don't know, this one that's right there. That is the Lord's Prayer. And they were both in there set aside for me to have. And so I brought them home and I put them up in my office. And the one picture, this Lord's Prayer, would not hang straight. And I would straighten it, not come back in here and it'd be wonky. And so I finally told her, I said, Jeanette, stop messing with this picture. Anyway, and that's the kind of relationship we had. And I straightened it one more time, and it's not gone cockeyed again. So it's I just had to laugh that day. I've been mad at her for leaving me. I got over that, but just the sadness of the empty chairs at Christmas. They're just, and all of those empty chairs may not be people that have passed away, like what Pam was talking about. So, Pam said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, Rhonda. Well, I've got a couple of videos that are on the burner. Cheryl kind of wanted me to do one about how trauma affects the soul. And Cheryl, yes, I have some notes on that. And I will be formulating those and working on those probably in the new year. So that and the estrangement, I want to do about that. And so, Kathleen said she'd be right back. Be right back. That's what it stands for, Miss M. You got to educate us, this old person. I'm an old person, and I don't know all the lingo to those little. I'm learning. I learn a new one every day. And, that's what I do. I'm not going to let that old woman in. I'm going to keep learning. So Allison said, my brain is bouncing even to YouTube, least of issues, but it's still eating at me. It does. I think that's, if you resist feeling the feelings, it will continue to persist and eat at you. You just kind of sometimes have to just embrace them. And it's not easy. I will tell you. Your dad's picture does the same thing, Allison. Miss M said, you still grieve for the people who are still alive. Yes. I'm frozen. Why am I frozen? Am I still frozen? So Pam said, my sister and her husband haven't talked to my parents in almost 5 years. My mom's heart is so broken and I can't help. I've tried. That's sad, Pam. It is. And I know Sally deals with that, and Allison just said she deals with that. It estrangement is real with this new generation's way of blaming. Yes, it is. And I think that in a way it's easier to just cut off the parents or the and that's more common than the parent cutting off the kid, but it's easier than to deal with conflict and sit down and try to communicate. And oftentimes people get defensive and they try to defend and explain their point of view, and it becomes this big mess. And Kathleen said, that's what I was saying. LOL. Be right back. And HBU is how about you? Oh, okay. I'm good on your end, Miss M. And TTYL means talk to you later. Y'all are educating me. TTYL. Talk to you later. Oh. Okay. Kathleen said, my brother, who is 9 years older than, didn't talk to us siblings for 8 years. Wow. So he's come back around. I don't know. With my son and I, it was a couple of years, and then we were, I don't know, around each other, but then he just was still real distant. We might be in the same room at Christmas, and that would be it. And there were a couple of things, some things that I did on my part. So this is Pam said, I have thought about trying to connect my mom to you, Rhonda. She won't go to counseling, but might go for a session with someone who understands. I'm praying about it anyway. Okay. She can have her watch my YouTube channel. She would get to know me a little bit, but I am going to do a video about estrangement, and I think that because I have worked with some kids that maybe not completely cut their parents out, but have distanced themselves. And there are some things that the parents are doing that are blocking the reconnection, and I don't know if the person that I'm working with, if they will, get past that and not completely estrange themselves. But I encourage them to communicate with the parent, tell them how they feel, even if the parent doesn't validate. And so often, this is what I did when my son would tell me stuff, instead of validating how he felt, whether it was true or not, I would defend myself or tell him what his dad did or that sort of thing. And that didn't help the situation. Whether what he thought He thought that I ruined his life because I divorced his dad. And he told me that. And I would defend myself. And I can remember, you know, him telling me that. And I had enough recovery to where I just said, you're right. That was his perspective. Might not have been truth, but that was his perspective. And I had to allow him to have that perspective. He told me, he said, I don't know how I'm going to ever get over all this. And I told him, maybe someday you'll forgive me. And I think that that was actually before the cutoff. But I continued to not defend myself or try to explain why I did what I did or any of that sort of stuff, and allowed him the time to heal and to be able to forgive me. So anyway, Kathleen said, but he had his reasons and he said it was important. Your brother? Yeah. Evie said, I'm late. I was trying to knock the mud off my shoes. Where'd you get mud on your shoes, Evie? Miss M said, I'm always good at keeping things to myself. But you know, I did that too, Emily. I would not talk about stuff because I didn't like conflict. I didn't want conflict. And I avoided it. And so I didn't talk about stuff. And it caused a lot of problems. They're saying hi to each other at my front door. Evie, did you get mud on your shoes at my front door? I don't have mud at my front door. In the backyard, maybe, when it rains. Miss M, are you laughing till you cry? Come in and find a seat. Sure. Did you bring your coffee? I don't drink coffee. It's like, did you bring your tasty? My daughter-in-law gave me, it is, looks like a snow globe. It has a glass in the middle with a straw. But she says you can put your wine in there and then you have a snow globe and a party. I call that a tasty. So I was pretending I was at your front door. Well, come on in. Miss M said she was laughing at Evie for saying that she got mud from your front door, knocking the mud off her shoes. Oh, yeah, that is pretty funny, you know. Now that would have been a line if you're having crown wars. There's someone at your front door. So, but I know that I felt the pain of a child cutting me out of their life, and that feeling like that he didn't understand what I had gone through. It's kind of funny. I think he does now, but and I'm talking, this has been 25 years ago, and he had a resentment towards me about a chest of drawers that I took from his room when I moved out of the house, where when his dad and I separated. And I had my grandfather's parents' bedroom set, the headboard, footboard, bed with the slats, the antique dresser, the antique nightstand, and chest of drawers, and they all matched. And the chest of drawers was in his room, and so I switched out a newer chest of drawers and took that one. And he resented that, and so he had a resentment about, I heard about those chest of drawers, and I thought, I can't believe he would be mad at me and have a resentment toward me over a chest of drawers. And finally, one day I realized, well, why would I, care about a chest of drawers over a relationship with my son? And I cleaned it out, loaded it up, and took it to him. And he wasn't hardly speaking to me. And I took him that chest of drawers and he gave it to him. Wasn't worth it, you know. So that's just some things in my past that I have worked through, and that I think was some catalyst that changed how he felt about me. So um Miss Sims, that Sally, are you okay? You've been gone for a few. Well, she was driving, but she said she'd be right back. The Rebels said siblings. Lulu, what's that mean? But, some of those, especially, I was dysfunctional in my family unit. And so my kids got the brunt of that. And I had to admit that I was abusive, neglective. I abandoned them. I did all of that stuff. And I had to admit that to myself. So Pam said, Pam, it might have had to do with feelings of a loss of control over things in his life. And I think divorce is harder on older kids than it is younger kids. So just tore their life apart. But they were living in total hell every day with me and their dad anyway. So, oh, Miss M said, oh, okay, don't respond back, Sally. Wait till you're not driving. Yeah, it's hard to chat when you're driving. So Pam said, if you know what I mean, like your son projecting that onto the chest of drawers. Yeah, yeah. But I do know that me giving them back was a shift, in him. Just maybe he realized that it wasn't worth it over a chest of drawers, or that they they didn't mean as much to me as he did. I don't know. And then he took those antique chest of drawers and painted them black. I was sick. I mean, we're talking antique. It was my great grandparents' bedroom set that they bought when they got married. That's how old it was. Solid wood, heavy. I still have the dresser. It's what I used to put on my makeup. He painted it black. And he did tell me, he said, Mom, it's a good thing I didn't have it, because I wouldn't have it now. It had got lost in the moves, or it wouldn't have meant what it means to me today. And so, and that's been, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. I don't know, that I gave it back to him. So it's a process. It's a process of tearing it all apart, and it's a process of healing and repairing and putting it back together. And sometimes it doesn't happen. So I don't know. Thanks, Pam. Pam said, it's a beautiful story, Rhonda. I'm so glad it worked out. It did for me. Hi, Mike. How are you? You staying warm? He's saying, he's waving. Hello, hello. So I was watching that ice fishing video of yours, just the ice and the snow, and it's cold, and that the lake would freeze over thick enough that you could drive on the lake. Just beyond me. So you are staying warm. Did you get your heater? So Mike's saying, hello, Kathleen and Cheryl, Miss M. I have this heavy weight of sadness and depression. Makes it hard to breathe, but I am okay. Yes, it does. and that's a very good description, Emily, of depression, is that it's a weight on your chest, and it it's like this engulfing cloud. And so Paula said, yes, safety first. Mike said, yes, I did get my heater. I just need time to install it. Good. Evie said, I think Mike said the ice has to be 12 inches thick to drive, and he was on 8 inches. That's still, I just, that the lake would freeze like that you could even drive on it. Okay, Paula. You said black? Oh, you're talking about the chest of drawers. Yeah, he painted it black. We just paint, you know. Kathleen saying, I'm so sorry, Em. Mike said, hello, Evie. Please don't be mad at me. So why would, okay. Pam, bye, Pam. Have a good evening. Thanks for coming. So why would Evie be mad at you, Mike? You got to tell us. Come on, spill the beans. Kathleen said, I'm going to run. Just a reminder to hit the like button. Thank you, Kathleen. You have a good evening, too. Okay, Mike said, that's good. You didn't see the comment I left in your last video. Now we're all curious. Evie, go find out what's the comment he left you in your last video. Are you talking about the one? She did 2 today, I think. I watched one where she's reading the story about the snow fairy. And then she did the one where she went to Kroger. Oh, I think she probably still sucks her thumb. Oh, I was like, oh my goodness, Evie, I sucked my thumb too. To a long time. I got to where the only time I sucked it though was when I was going to sleep. So everyone's saying bye to Kathleen. We need to find Evie a pink flannel elephant. Somebody might could make her one. That soft flannel. Evie said, oh, I don't care. I haven't read it yet. I feel like sucking my thumb today. Are you having a rough day, Evie? Mike's laughing till he cries. Missy M said, go for it, Evie. We could all suck our thumbs. Mike said, I probably did too. Well, I mean, but, if you suck your thumb well into grade school, you remember sucking your thumb. So he was just trying to make jokes. So, Evie, you not having a good day? Okay. Evie said, oh, I started thinking about the DIL and how I can't see my family, my son and the boys. Yeah. Yeah, that's hard. It's hard. We've talked about that, and it's difficult. So, and this time of year, it's when everybody's talking about spending time with the family for the holidays and all of that. And so, hi, Julie. Welcome, Miss Julie. Okay. Evie said, I have waited 10 days because his wife has to decide when I see the boys. She is waiting until after Christmas, and I may not want to go after that. That's true. You were at a concert, Julie? Oh, you're working on Sally's scarf? Yeah, that, you know, I was almost to the point of asking, my son and my daughter-in-law, well, how are y'all going to feel, when James gets a wife and she doesn't want y'all to participate or come over because karma's a bitch. Yeah, I said the B word. So, I think it's harder with daughter-in-laws when they're your daughter. So it's a concert at church. The high school performed, and wow, so sad when we can't be with our kids. It is, Julie. Poor Miss Evie's struggling with that. And so Miss M said it's okay. It is. And it is a process, and part of that process is embracing it and getting to acceptance, and that's doesn't make it stop hurting. It just doesn't hurt as bad as when you're hanging on to it. And that's kind of what I was, alluding to in my last video. My next one, I've already got it recorded. It's a little lighthearted. It's I don't know that it's humorous, but it's not quite as heavy a topic. So I was trying to get a few videos ahead so that next week I didn't have to worry about filming any. I got one ready for, I guess I'll put it out Saturday. And then I'd like to, I don't know. And then while I'm thinking about it, next Wednesday's Christmas Eve, and the Wednesday after that is New Year's Eve. So I won't be doing this live, but I may do them on Tuesday or some other time. I thought about doing Tuesday, not evening, but just Tuesday. I don't know. I'll know next week. So, but maybe early evening Tuesday or something like that, or just take a little prompt from Evie and just check and see if anybody I know is live, and then just go live. That's kind of scares me because I think nobody will show up. Y'all know I'm going to be here Wednesday at 7, so you're here for me, and I love it. Miss M's going to go. Thank you, Miss M. Have a great night, and everyone, you have a good evening too. Take care of yourself, and hey, Joshua's here. Hi, Joshua. So Evie said my hubby will work until 10 p.m. or so. Everybody's saying bye to Miss M. Is that tonight, Evie, or is that on Christmas Eve? Surely not 10 p.m. Is he? Okay, so what's that mean? There's another one of those. New Year's Eve. Okay, New Year's Eve. He's going to work till 10 p.m. Well, New Year's Eve's not a thing. We don't do anything anyway. Might do it a little earlier on New Year's Eve. I won't be doing a live on Christmas Eve. Thanks, Julie. It says Christmas crew. There's light bulbs on it. I have all these Christmas shirts. I'm trying to wear them. But I thought we go down to the stockyards on Christmas Eve. And I thought, oh, I could do a live at stockyards like Dora the Explorer. So, and who knows? You did talk about some new wireless headphones, Joshua. So, you did. Well, then I will think about New Year's Eve. You and I can do a live together. Heavy. We don't do anything on New Year's Eve. So it's or we never have. You're in. All right. Sounds good. But Christmas Eve, I know for a fact that I will be busy. And like I said, I could just impromptu live and be walking up and down the streets of Fort Worth. It's according to how warm it is. Last year the weather was perfect. It's become a new tradition for us is that we go eat at Joe T. Garcia's, and then we go stomp around the stockyards, we call it, go down there and walk around, and we go to the Dryer Hotel and look at their Christmas decorations, and that would make a good live showing all their Christmas. They had a huge Christmas tree and had this huge cowboy hat on top of it. It was really pretty phenomenal. I have not heard of the Beats brand before, Joshua. I think maybe I have. Do they make earbuds too? Paula's saying, hi, Joshua. Do they make earbuds, Joshua? And Paula's telling Julie hi. Yes, Rhonda, they do. Evie's telling me they do. Okay, so I have heard of them, Joshua, because I think my husband has a pair of Beats earbuds. So, anyway, and so the topic, what feelings are you embracing this season? So, you can embrace joy, love, acceptance, along with some of the others. We always think of embracing, the what I talked about the other day, sadness, loneliness, and depression, but we also can embrace the love and the joy and the peace that's in our lives. Julie said, I'm embracing whatever the heck comes up. LOL. Surrender is a good one for me. That's the truth. I had a friend that said she kept a little white handkerchief next to her nightstand, and every morning she'd get up and go, I surrender. And that's how she started her day. And that's pretty good. So, oh, Mike thinks you're embracing your thumb. So, thumb suckers unite. There's a lot of us, I found out. I was so ashamed of that. And my parents tried everything to get me to quit. They put this hot stuff on it, and it kind of, I think it had a cinnamon taste. I think that's why I like cinnamon. I would just continue to, I'd suck on a little bit till it burned too bad, and then I'd quit. And then till it was gone, I could suck it, Yep, that's Paula said, we watch a movie and eat treats on New Year's Eve and fall asleep by 11. Exactly. And so I think last year we went to bed at our regular time. It was just another evening. Cinnamon is soothing. Well, I like cinnamon. Julie said, that sounds like a fun plan, Paula. Yeah, it's a pretty good plan. Chocolate is soothing. It is. I haven't made candy um, in forever at Christmas. In last week, I made chocolate covered pecans. I have a whole bunch of them. And so when the kids came, I got them out this weekend and they didn't eat any, but I did. I was like, oh my goodness, messed up my whole system eating the chocolate. Boy, it was good though. It's good. Uh, Julie said, I have a weird tradition. I like to watch the sunrise on New Year's morning. Hey, that's cool. Joshua said, I like to embrace joy in everything. Yes, Joshua. Mrs. Paula said, Julie, nice. Retro Queen Bee, hello. Chocolate and pecans. Yes. These are peanuts, though, Julie. It was what was it? It was called Crock Pot Crack, and I wanted to try it. So, yeah, that's her name, Evie. Vicky. I was trying to remember her name. Yeah, she just said Vicky. Yeah. Everyone say hello to Vicky. Hi, Vicky. We're glad you're here. Um, so we were talking about the feelings that we're embracing this season, and kind of in line with the video that I just put out on Monday. Oh, Joshua said he didn't know Beats is owned by Apple now. I don't know who owns them. Did Evie say that? So, all right, let me ask y'all this. I watched a thing today that YouTube is releasing that we can have a look-alike, talk-alike avatar on our channel that our community can ask our avatar questions. So what do y'all think about that? I was like, oh my goodness. So all right. Hello all. My in pause replenish. Julie said that sounds creepy to me. Well, in the Ty Myers put out the video. I watched it this afternoon. I saw it. It come up on my feed, so I watched it. I put it on and watched it while I drove home because it was like 10 minutes long. And very interesting. There's channels that already have these. And YouTube takes your likeness, and I guess AI can go through your videos and get maybe how you would answer things. And and I asked Chat GPT the other day. I said, if I was feeling lonely, what would Rhonda Hensley tell me to do? And it did. It told me, well, she's online and and she's just what she says. And he told and it told me, and I asked it some other questions, and it was like, oh no. So Julie said, I know there are completely AI channels. I don't like those. I don't either. Oh, gee, Chat GPT has misquoted me to me. That's funny. But it it's a people pleaser. Chat GPT I have diagnosed as a people pleaser. That sounds great. You know, I would suggest you do this. And then I'll say, well, I really wanted to do, oh, that really sounds great. And I'm like, oh, it is a people pleaser. It really is. It's like, whatever you come up with that's a fantastic idea. They try to woo you into chatting more. I wonder why that is. Joshua says, when I opened up my iPad to unlock it and turn on these headphones, Rhonda, input it next to it pops up and it asks you to connect it. Huh. Yeah. Julie said, for real. Oh my gosh. Julie said, I say, no thanks. Got what I need. Bye bye. I want to, it's funny. You get in there and asking it the questions, and then it says, do you want me to? And it's like, no, thank you. It's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm talking an animated type of person and trying to be polite to it. It's like say, no thanks. Mm. So Julie said, I need to get ready for my poetry live, y'all. Have a good evening. Big hugs. All right, we'll see you in a few over there. Julie has a live that she is doing in about 5 minutes. And so we'll have to do a raid. Okay. Vicky said, I like to search in chat to find or compare items I need or want. Yeah, that's right. That's Vicky at Retro Queen Bee Art. So I like to do that with Chat GPT rather than Google, because Google's gotten to where if you ask Google something, it comes up trying to sell you this stuff. And so but then Chat GPT is full of platitudes. Shoot it straight with me, chat. Come on now. Joshua says this headphones have one touch pairing. If you don't know what that is, Paula. Do you know what that is, Paula? I guess you do one touch and it pairs with whatever you want it to pair with. The Bluetooth. And I think about all the and it's almost conspiracy theorist type thing about AI. But, when you've lived as long as I have, we didn't have a dial telephone. You had to pick up the receiver and tell the operator the number you wanted to talk to. And, of course, when the internet first started, and whoa, the naysayers about the internet, and the naysayers about the computer, and the naysayers about, and AI is no different. It's just new technology, and there will be good things and bad things with AI, just like there's good things and bad things with the internet. There's good things and bad things with the cell phone. There's good things and bad things with everything. It's the law of the universe. So, Joshua says it does have noise canceling. Rhonda, if you know what that is. I do know what that is. I have noise canceling on my microphone. I can do it on my editing thing I use and all of that. So we have been going almost an hour, which is usually I do an hour live. And yeah, chat is going to change our society. I do not want people left behind. And that's, kind of what happened to a lot of people who are my age that didn't embrace computers and internet and that sort of thing. And now they don't, they struggle because so much stuff is computerized. And, you know, I don't know. I had a job to where, I had to learn a lot of stuff about using the computer. And so I see the advantages a lot of other people who are my age. Who I helped a friend the other day. She was trying to renew her counseling license, and to get on the she came by my house. She said, I need help. And just you know, the how illiterate she was to just navigate the getting on there. And we had to take just yeah we have to take a jurisprudence exam, and just getting into the exam and taking the exam and all of that sort of stuff. And you know uh, I helped her do it. And so I'm grateful that I did embrace, and that I did learn, and that I did accept how to use a computer. All right. Vicky said, I'm a good person. That, and yeah. So Joshua, when I paired this to my iPad, it was walking me through a tutorial. Yeah, I'm like Paula. It sounds awesome, Joshua. These headphones can last for 40 hours. That's great. That's great because, you know, they're that's kind of something real important for you to use for communication. So, all right, we have hit an hour, and I'm sure that Julie has probably started her live, and I'd like to go support her in her live. And so if y'all want to go over and raid Julie Jordan Scott on her channel, we'll go raid her live. And I hope y'all have a great week. And if I don't see y'all before Christmas, I hope y'all have a blessed Christmas. And I will be back soon, because time passes so fast when you're having fun. I love all of y'all. Bye.